bana. Mtu wa mkono chukua kwanza upige. Hapo. Hiyo kaburi hapo.
Ukuje kushika hiyo ukikuja. Kama unakuja kupiga mtisikilo wewe mtu unakuja basi.
With the conclusion of a post-mortem yesterday by a team led by Dr. Njoroge, as a leadership, we must say at the very outset that we have followed the happenings, we followed the reports, we have followed the statements from the team led by the DCI, as well as the government pathologists led by Dr. Njoroge, as I have said, and to say the least, as residents of Kericho County, as citizens of this country, we are extremely dismayed, we are shocked, we are perturbed and extremely concerned. This is so because of the following reasons. Number one, initially the report was that 14 people had been interred at Makaburini, but later on, after the bodies were disinterred, a disclosure was made that about 33 people had been disinterred. Several of these people had been brought from places which are yet to be disclosed. There was a suggestion that about 14 people had been brought from our neighboring county, but there has been no explanation as to where the 19 extra people came from. Number two, though there was a suggestion earlier on that these are people who are being disposed from a hospital because there were no people to claim them. The reports from the government pathologists, the reports coming from the post-mortem suggested that there were about 4 people who had physical injuries, and these were not just physical injuries, these were injuries to their heads. Even worse, some of these people were very fresh to suggest that these are not the kind of people who are being brought for purposes of disposal, for purposes of the public health. These were people who are being brought for purposes of being buried in a clandestine manner. As a nation which has suffered immense cases of extrajudicial killings, as a country that is going through a bad history of enforced disappearances, as a country which has witnessed abduction by state agencies and other people, we are very concerned when there were about 4 people who had head injuries, when there were people whose bodies were very fresh and did not qualify to be buried in mass graves through the vehicle of an affidavit, through the vehicle of a court order for purposes of public health. We want to ask the government of Kenya to do the following within the next 7 days. Number one, as a leadership in Kericho, as citizens of Kericho, we want the government of Kenya through the DCI, through the registrar of parts and deaths, to give us a full disclosure on who were these 33 people who were buried in a clandestine manner in Makaburi Cemetery. We want to know where these people came from. We want to know their very specific identities. Number two, we want people who are responsible for purposes of burial. We want people who are responsible for purposes of planning. We want people who gave the decisions to bury allegedly 14 people who turned out to be 33. And these is same people who bear responsibility, the highest responsibility in law, to take responsibility. And if possible, we want to see these people prosecuted because of a cover-up, because of acting to subvert the law.